Chosen one, God's wrath will hit you. Just do nothing. Chosen one, hear this message with the weight it carries. Life is often filled with movement, striving, and endless attempts to control what is beyond our reach. But there comes a point when heaven itself tells you to stop, to release, to do nothing. Not out of laziness, not out of defeat, but out of divine obedience. This is where you are now. The instruction is clear. Just do nothing. Because if you try to force your way, you will step into storms you were never meant to fight. If you try to manipulate what only heaven can arrange, you will call upon chaos that was never your portion. This is the warning. Otherwise, you will collide with wrath, not because you are unloved, but because you are misaligned. There are times when moving is the right action, when faith looks like bold steps forward. But there are also times when faith is restraint, when obedience is stillness, when power is shown not in effort but in surrender. Chosen one, this season calls for surrender. The winds are shifting and heaven is aligning things on your behalf. If you interfere, you will delay what is meant to unfold in your favor. This is why you are being told to rest, to release your grip, to step back. The instruction may seem strange, even uncomfortable, but it carries life. To obey is to find protection. To resist is to invite unnecessary storms. The path you are on has reached a critical point, and your instinct may be to rush, to act, to fix, to prove. But the very urge you feel is a test. Will you trust heaven enough to wait? Will you honor the timing that is beyond your control? The wrath is not punishment, it is consequence. Imagine forcing open a door that was locked for your safety. On the other side lies harm, betrayal, disaster. That is what action looks like in this season. But stillness is the shield. Stillness is the obedience that keeps you under divine protection. Chosen one, before we continue deeper, I want you to remain with me through the end of this message. There is an energy being released even as you listen, a shift that begins within. I also want you to take a step of alignment. Write your warmest wishes in the comments below. Release them into the atmosphere. Add the numbers 99 and 777 as a sign of divine completion and alignment, and make sure you subscribe for this journey of glory. This act may feel simple, but it is a declaration. By doing it, you are saying, I choose surrender, I choose alignment, I choose to wait. Heaven responds to such declarations. The truth is, chosen one, your greatest battles are often fought in silence. Not every enemy is defeated by your sword. Some are defeated by your stillness. Not every storm is survived by your strength. Some are calmed by your refusal to feed them. By doing nothing, you are not losing. You are winning in a way the world does not understand. You are stepping aside and letting heaven fight for you. And when heaven fights for you, no opposition can prevail. The wrath you are being warned about is not heaven's anger at you. It is the chaos that consumes those who insist on control. If you resist this instruction, you will feel the crash of what you were never meant to carry. Doing nothing does not mean giving up. It means giving over. It means releasing your hands so that higher hands can work. It means surrendering the illusion of control and allowing divine timing to unfold. And though it may feel unnatural, it is one of the most powerful acts of faith. The chosen ones are not always called to strive. They are sometimes called to stand still, to watch, to wait, to trust. And that is exactly where you are right now. Chosen one, understand this clearly. The command to do nothing is not a call to emptiness. It is a call to power. The world will tell you that progress is made by constant motion, that every day you must push, chase, or force results. But heaven operates differently. What seems like silence is actually orchestration. What feels like stillness is actually acceleration happening in the unseen. To obey this instruction is to acknowledge that what is being prepared for you is greater than anything you could build with your own hands. Think of a seed buried in the soil. On the surface, nothing appears to be happening. The ground looks unchanged. The seed looks forgotten. Yet under the soil, the seed is breaking, shifting, taking root, preparing to emerge in strength. If you dig it up too soon, you destroy the process. If you water it and leave it in peace, it flourishes in its season. This is your life right now. The divine instruction is not for you to dig, to force, to rush. It is to allow what is beneath the surface to finish its work. To act prematurely is to ruin what was meant to bless you. That is why the wrath is real. It is not punishment, but the natural chaos that comes when timing is ignored. Doing nothing, chosen one, is not about passivity. It is about trust. Trust is not a feeling, it is a decision. It is the choice to believe that even when you cannot see, things are still moving for you. It is the decision to release control when everything in you screams to grab hold. And this is the very test before you now. Will you trust that the silence is strategic? Will you trust that the delay is not denial, but divine timing? Those who cannot trust, who act in desperation, end up colliding with storms of their own making. But those who trust, who wait, who surrender, they inherit peace that no force can take away. Chosen one, consider how many times in your life you rushed, only to realize later that waiting would have spared you pain. Consider the relationships forced before their time, the opportunities seized without preparation, the words spoken out of impulse. All of these became burdens rather than blessings. But this time is different. Heaven has given you the wisdom to pause, the clarity to wait. If you ignore it, you will repeat cycles of unnecessary loss. But if you obey, you will break those cycles once and for all. The instruction to just do nothing is not weakness. It is the wisdom that ends the pattern of self-destruction. The wrath that has been spoken of is not something external chasing you. It is the collapse that comes when you step out of alignment. When you act in seasons where you were meant to wait, you attract chaos. The wrong people attach themselves to you. The wrong doors open. The wrong energy surrounds you. It feels like wrath because it is weight you were never meant to carry. But when you choose stillness, you step into alignment where everything fits, where the right people come, where the right doors open, where the energy around you matches your spirit. Stillness is not the absence of action, it is the presence of alignment. Doing nothing is also protection against deception. In moments of urgency, the enemy loves to present counterfeit opportunities, distractions that look like blessings but are traps in disguise. When you are desperate to act, you are vulnerable to taking what is not truly yours. But when you are still, you can see clearly. The counterfeits lose their power because you are not moving from desperation. You are waiting from strength. You are not fooled by glitter because you know the difference between gold and dust. Chosen one, your silence is a weapon. Your stillness is a shield. Your refusal to act when the timing is not right is the very thing that disarms the wrath waiting on the other side of disobedience. And though it may seem to others that you are falling behind, in truth you are being positioned ahead. The ones who rush will burn out. The ones who strive will collapse. But you, in your stillness, will rise when the time is right, stronger, sharper, unshakable. So listen to the instruction with reverence. Just do nothing. Hold your peace. Let heaven fight for you. Let timing reveal what is yours. For in doing nothing now, you are making space for everything that is meant to last. Chosen one, when heaven says, do nothing, it is not stripping you of power, it is inviting you into a higher form of power. The world will tell you that progress comes from chasing, striving, forcing, and pushing every door open. But the Spirit knows another way. There is strength in stillness, clarity in quietness, and safety in surrender. When you do nothing, you are not weak. You are stepping out of the way so that divine orchestration can unfold without interference. This is a wisdom many cannot understand, but it is the very wisdom that protects you. If you look back over your life, you will see how many mistakes were born from rushing. The wrong words spoken in haste, the relationships clung to out of fear of loneliness, the opportunities seized too early. All of them became burdens rather than blessings. This is why heaven warns you now. You are standing before a delicate process, one that cannot be rushed, one that cannot be forced. The wrath that comes is not because you are hated, but because when you act outside of timing, you step into chaos. Think of a fruit picked before it is ripe, sour, wasted, and useless. Timing is everything, and right now, heaven says, wait. Stillness is not absence, it is alignment. When you obey the command to do nothing, you position yourself in the flow of divine timing. Things begin to move behind the scenes that you could never arrange on your own. People begin to shift, opportunities begin to form, conversations begin to align, all without your striving. You may not see it yet, but just as a seed grows in silence, your blessings are maturing in ways invisible to the eye. If you dig too soon, you ruin the harvest. But if you wait, you will see abundance beyond what you imagined. Chosen one, your stillness is your shield. It protects you from counterfeit doors, from traps disguised as opportunities. When you are desperate to act, anything that looks promising can deceive you. But when you are still, you gain clarity. You are not lured by glitter because you know the difference between true gold and cheap dust. Doing nothing keeps you from walking into rooms you were never meant to enter, from attaching yourself to people who cannot carry your destiny, from wasting energy on paths that end in disappointment. This is also why resistance has grown stronger around you. The enemy thrives on impulse. Chaos feeds on movement without wisdom. But when you refuse to react, when you hold your peace, you starve the enemy of power. By doing nothing, you confuse the forces that wanted you restless, reckless, and drained. Stillness becomes warfare. Silence becomes a weapon. Every moment you choose not to force, not to fight, not to panic, you are actually winning. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. Though you may look motionless on the outside, something powerful is unfolding within you. Your patience is being sharpened, your faith is being deepened, your discernment is growing stronger, you are being refined for what comes next. The waiting season is never wasted, it is the preparation season. And when the time comes, you will step forward with a confidence that cannot be shaken, because you did not rush. You trusted. This is why the warning is clear, otherwise wrath will meet you. Not because you are cursed, but because stepping outside of alignment invites storms you were never meant to endure. It is like walking into a battlefield without armor, like sailing into the sea without a vessel. The danger is real, and the protection is in obedience. The wrath is the weight of consequences when we force what heaven told us to release. But chosen one, you do not have to taste that wrath. You have been given the wisdom, the clarity, and the instruction to stand still. That obedience is your shield, so hear this again with fresh ears. Just do nothing. Not out of fear, but out of faith. Not because you are powerless, but because heaven is powerful. The very act of restraint is the sign that you trust more deeply than ever before. And in that trust, you will find not loss, but safety. Not weakness, but strength. Not wrath, but reward. Chosen one, the instruction to do nothing may feel like a heavy burden to the restless heart, but it is actually the greatest gift you can be given. Stillness is not empty, it is full. Within silence lies revelation, within waiting lies preparation, within surrender lies breakthrough. This is not a passive command, but an active form of faith. When you do nothing, you are declaring to the universe, I trust the process, I trust the timing, I trust the one who holds my future. And that declaration itself moves more power than any frantic action could. The blessings of stillness are subtle at first. You may begin to notice a deepening peace inside you, even when external circumstances remain unchanged. That peace is not ordinary, it is a sign that heaven is at work on your behalf. Where you once felt anxious about outcomes, you will now find rest. Where you once carried the weight of solving every problem, you will now feel lighter. This is because doing nothing removes the illusion of control and returns you to alignment with what is truly guiding your path. Provision often flows through stillness. Many believe provision comes only by striving. But chosen one, haven't you noticed that some of your greatest blessings came when you least expected them? The phone call that changed everything, the opportunity that appeared from nowhere, the help that arrived at the perfect time. None of these were forced by your effort. They were orchestrated in silence. When you do nothing, you allow such orchestrations to happen unhindered. You make room for divine intervention. Clarity also arrives in stillness. When you are constantly moving, constantly chasing, your vision becomes clouded. You see through the lens of urgency rather than wisdom. But when you stop, when you breathe, when you release the need to act, you begin to see clearly. Ideas surface, insights emerge, directions become obvious. The very answers you've been searching for in noise often arrive in quiet. By doing nothing, you create space for clarity to speak. Chosen one, stillness is also a protection from enemies you cannot see. While you wait, hidden traps are exposed. Unseen dangers are dismantled. If you had moved, you would have walked right into them. But by staying still, you let heaven go ahead of you, clearing the path. Many of the battles you were spared from, you will never even know about. And that is the beauty of it. You were kept safe, not because of your strategy, but because of your obedience. Doing nothing also attracts alignment. The right people, opportunities, and circumstances are drawn to a still spirit. Desperation repels destiny, peace attracts it. When you stop chasing, you give space for what belongs to you to find you. You don't need to knock down doors that were never yours. You need only to stand still until the one designed for you swings open. This is why heaven insists, do nothing, because what is coming is already seeking you, and your stillness makes you easy to find. You may worry that waiting means missing out, that doing nothing means falling behind. But chosen one, in divine timing, waiting is never wasted. Others may rush ahead, grabbing at what looks like progress, but their end will prove fragile. You, however, will rise in strength because your foundation was built in patience. And when the time comes, what took others years will come to you in moments, because you honored the silence. The wrath spoken of is not an abstract fear. It is the collapse that comes from moving when you were told to wait. Rushing pulls you into cycles of confusion, heaviness, and regret. But waiting shields you from all of that. Doing nothing is not avoidance, it is alignment. It is the decision to live in sync with a greater rhythm, one that is building something far bigger than you can currently see. So let your heart rest in this. By doing nothing, you are actually doing everything. You are surrendering control, protecting your spirit, and allowing blessings to flow without resistance. You are opening space for provision, for clarity, for divine intervention. And you are sparing yourself from storms you were never meant to endure. The stillness you embrace today will become the testimony you share tomorrow, that when you did nothing, heaven did everything. Chosen one, understand this. Doing nothing in this season is not meant to keep you stagnant. It is meant to transform you. The silence you are being asked to embrace is not a pause of emptiness. It is a cocoon. Just as a caterpillar withdraws into stillness before breaking forth as a butterfly, so too are you being called to retreat into surrender so that your true form can emerge. If you resist this cocoon, if you try to cut it short, you remain incomplete. But if you yield, the transformation will take hold in ways that even you could not imagine. Stillness refines identity. When everything is stripped away, busyness, striving, distractions, you are left face to face with yourself. In those quiet moments, you begin to see who you really are. The illusions fall off. The masks dissolve. The false identities that the world tried to put on you no longer stick. Doing nothing allows you to peel back the layers and find your authentic self. And this is critical because when the next season comes, you must step into it as your true self, not a shadow of what others expected you to be. This season of stillness also strengthens your inner world. Many think strength is shown by how loudly you fight, but chosen one, true strength is often forged in silence. Every day you resist the urge to force your way forward, your endurance grows. Every time you trust instead of panicking, your faith deepens. Every moment you release control, your spirit expands. You are not becoming weaker by waiting. You are becoming unshakable. And when the time comes to act, you will act from a place of power, not desperation. Doing nothing creates a new kind of vision. In stillness, your eyes adjust to see what constant motion blinded you to. You begin to notice small confirmations, subtle signs, and the gentle nudges of destiny. You realize that guidance was always around you. You were just moving too fast to notice. This clarity is part of your transformation. When you emerge from this season, you will no longer live in confusion. You will walk with discernment, able to see beyond the surface, able to sense the truth behind appearances. Chosen one, stillness also teaches patience with timing. You learn that delay is not denial, that silence is not absence, that waiting is not wasted. This shift in perspective is part of your inner rebirth. When others around you panic because things are not happening quickly, you will stand calm, anchored, unbothered. Your stability will set you apart, and because you have learned to wait, you will be entrusted with greater things. For those who cannot wait cannot be trusted with weight. But you, through your obedience to do nothing, are proving that you can carry more. There is also a cleansing that happens in stillness. Old fears rise to the surface, not to destroy you, but to be released. Old wounds echo louder, not to harm you, but to be healed. Old doubts whisper, not to paralyze you, but to be silenced once and for all. Stillness forces you to face what busyness kept buried. And though it may feel uncomfortable, it is the very process that sets you free. By doing nothing, you are actually breaking chains that have held you for years. This is why the wrath is so severe if you disobey. To rush, to resist, to force movement when you were called to wait is to abandon the very transformation designed for you. You will not only lose blessings, you will lose yourself. You will step out half-formed, unready, unable to carry what was meant for you. This collapse is the wrath, the chaos, the unnecessary pain. But you can avoid it completely by surrendering to the process. By just doing nothing, you are giving space for the transformation to complete. Chosen one, when you emerge from this stillness, you will not recognize yourself. You will carry a new strength in your voice, a new clarity in your eyes, a new authority in your steps. People who once dismissed you will look again and see someone they cannot ignore. Circumstances that once intimidated you will no longer shake you. The storms that once threatened to drown you will now bow before you. All of this is being built in silence. All of this is being forged in your obedience to wait. So do not despise this season. Do not think of it as wasted time. Think of it as divine surgery. While you are still, heaven is reshaping you. While you are quiet, heaven is planting strength in you. While you are waiting, Heaven is preparing you, and when the time is complete, the world will see a transformed chosen one who walked through stillness, avoided wrath, and stepped into destiny with a new identity, unshakable and unstoppable. Chosen one, everything has been leading to this. The instruction was simple yet profound. Do nothing, not because you are weak, not because you have no choices, but because heaven itself has taken the lead. And when you obey, the outcome will be beyond anything you imagined. The silence you endured, the surrender you embraced, the patience you held, all of it becomes the foundation of your new beginning. This is not just about avoiding wrath. It is about stepping into destiny without resistance. When you obey the call to be still, you invite heaven to move for you. What once felt impossible will suddenly unfold with ease. What you could not push open will swing wide effortlessly. This is the reward of surrender, effortless alignment. You will stand in places you never thought you could reach, not because of striving, but because you trusted. You will see doors open that no one can close, not because of your force, but because of your obedience. Doing nothing was the very action that positioned you for everything. And as you walk into this new dimension, chosen one, you will notice the peace. The chaos that once surrounded you will fade. The storms that once threatened you will calm. The doubts that once haunted you will dissolve. You will live with a stillness inside that nothing external can shake. This inner peace will become your shield, your compass, your strength. Others will look at you and wonder how you can remain so calm while carrying so much. And your answer will be simple. I learned to trust. I learned to wait. I learned to do nothing. But the blessings are not only inward, they are outward. Stillness will birth provision. Opportunities will find you. Resources will appear. Helpers will arrive. You will realize that what you chased for years comes running toward you once you stop. The more you rest, the more aligned you become, and the more aligned you are, the more naturally abundance flows. This is the paradox of surrender. By doing nothing, everything begins to move. By standing still, you accelerate farther than you ever could by striving. Chosen one, your obedience will also mark others. The people watching you now, confused by your stillness, will soon see the fruit it produces. They will realize that your pause was not weakness, but wisdom. Your restraint was not laziness, but power. And many will be inspired to trust because they saw you trust. Your obedience will ripple outward, changing not only your life, but the lives connected to you. Stillness will become your testimony, your legacy, your proof that obedience opens doors effort never could. From this point forward, your life will no longer be marked by frantic chasing. It will be marked by steady alignment. You will not panic when others rush. You will not force when others fight. You will not collapse when others burn out. You will stand, you will wait, you will trust. And because of this, heaven will trust you with more. You will be given assignments, responsibilities, and blessings that only the faithful can carry. So as this message comes to a close, carry it in your heart. Chosen one, just do nothing. Do not resist the silence. Do not despise the waiting. Do not fear the stillness. It is not your punishment. It is your preparation. And when the time is right, you will see why. The wrath you avoided will become your testimony. The peace you found will become your strength. And the blessings that follow will prove that doing nothing was the most powerful thing you could have ever done.